And I'm going to say namaste. I think the theme of this practice is repose in the pose. So finding challenging poses for Cathy that also have a sense of coordination, functional movement, and ease. Repose in the pose. All right, I'm going to back up a little bit from the camera. Find a seated position that's
Let
comfortable.
me move. Let me move this a bit. So
I'm going to tip my camera slightly and move back so that you get a sense of where I am in my chair. Perfect. Everything slid around slightly. There we go. There. All right. Um, we're going to cut. Let's take the hands here. Let the shoulders drop. The elbows be heavy. Notice your breath. You can blow out like an om or a sigh. And then I'd like you to take the hands down by the sides and not straight out, but lifting up to about shoulder height or about heart height, and then following the exhale as they descend. The inhale sliding up, the exhale sliding down. One more time like this, and then sliding up. The palms turn over to face the ceiling. Bring the hands together in front of the face. The elbows are down. Bring the hands to the heart. Take the thumbs to the breastbone. There's a gentle sense of the breastbone, the heart moving up. And you might want to sit a little bit more towards the edge of your chair. I can't really tell where you are in the chair.
I was far back in the chair, so now I've moved.
And then with just a slight engagement of the feet to the floor, there's a sense of energy rising up through you that helps to keep your, especially the hara lifted. And then I'd like you to take your hands to your knees and round the back. You can follow the exhale here, and then gently let the chest lead forward and arc the back. So it's a cat cow. I'm turning sideways. You do not have to. Exhale here, rounded back, bow the head. Inhale as you arc the back the other way. Keep going, Cathy, because I'm going to change the camera's the view so the recording has you and me side by side instead of just you. Yeah, great. Rounding the back. And then, so it's cat, cow. That's great, Cathy.
Okay.
We're going to add a twist, but we're going to do it a little differently than we usually do, Cathy. So coming up to seated, I'd like you to turn towards me, which should be towards your left side, and just hold on to the chair with your left hand. Your knees can be straight forward on the chair, and just turn to look to the left. So it's a twist. You're still looking.
Look to the left,
So
Garnet,
I'm sitting
like this.
straight forward on my chair, my knees,
Okay.
and then I'm just turning my upper trunk to the left. My left hand comes to the chair, my right hand comes across, my palm turns out, and I look up, and my shoulders release away from my ears. So it's just a gentle twist. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Yeah. So the twist being very good for squeezing the organs, for moving the spine, trunk. Of course, your arms and shoulders and upper back all have to move. And then slide to the other side. The right hand comes to the chair frame. The knees and the hips
So it's
and the knees and hips are straight forward on the chair. So we often walk our knees. We're not today. The left hand comes across, the palm faces out, and you look to the right or whatever side if you're, Cathy, I can't see all of you. Are your hands are to your left? Is that
they're
correct?
to my left.
Then
So do I move to my
turn
left?
your head to the left also, just like that. That's perfect. Yeah.
with this hand here and this hand here. Do I
can't,
have that right?
I can't, your right hand should be on the chair frame. Your right,
No.
you're turning to the left. Your left hand should be on the chair frame. Your right hand comes across to the knee or the thigh, and your right
Okay,
palm
I
is
got you.
facing out. Yeah. And then bring your awareness back to your heels and feet just a little bit so they sort of firmly connect to the ground. It's just stay here for a couple of breaths, thinking about sitting tall, but the shoulders are still released away from the ears. The gaze is up in the room. Yep. And then come back to center. We're going to set up a warrior pose, which is good for the legs. All right. I'm going to take you back to your right, and I want you to take your right knee, your right knee, so that it's to the side. The left knee is towards me. You're in an L shape. All right. You can take, and then I'd like you to take your right hand to your knee, your left hand to the corner of the chair, and turn to your right with your shoulders. Now, Cathy, to make this more challenging, can you walk your left knee back a little bit, and it would be sliding back in the chair, and the back leg could be tucked. Is that available to you? If it's not, come back.
Let me see. So it would be here, here. Where would I put my left? Here?
This would be your left leg.
Yeah, and so where do I put my left? Oh, here.
Your left hand would be here. Your right hand would be on the
front. Okay. Okay.
lean. And I can't see all of you, so I'm wondering how this is doing. But then you would work on bringing your seat up, bringing your tush up, and lifting the weight up. How is that going? Because I can't see all of you.
Okay. You want me to lift my left buttock up?
I'm going to come a little closer, and then I'll go back.
Okay. I'm not sure I can.
It would
wait
to lift up like this, so you're the dark
okay.
Lifting up.
I can do it.
Okay, great. Lifting up.
Yeah, not easily, but I can do it.
Well, you wanted a little more challenge, so I hope that's good. Now, if you notice, my back is in line with my back thigh. If that makes sense, I know you.
Yeah. So I can lift.
Okay.
I can get it. Yeah.
Now, come back to the chair. So we're seated here. I'm coming a little closer so you see me a little better. And you can't see my legs, but it would be keeping my legs and then taking the front hand forward and looking over those front fingertips. So the legs stay in the warrior two pose, and the front right hand points forward because you're turned to the right. And you look over those fingertips. If you want to bring the legs back to more of an L, instead of being here, you're welcome to bring your legs like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the front hand is forward. You're sitting energetically upward. And you stay for a couple of breaths here. And then bring that hand down. I'm scooting back a little bit so we can set up for the second side. Warrior two on the second side. You have variations. I'm going to walk it would be your left foot to the left. Your right foot knee can be here. You're in an L with the legs. Your right hand comes to the inside of the chair. Your left hand comes to your knee. So we're going in the second direction. If you want it to be more challenging, you would take your right leg, because you're going to be facing to the right, Cathy. I mean, you're going to be facing to the left. I apologize. And your right leg can be back. I'm going to slide my tush back so that I'm more of my front thigh is on the chair. You can take your hands to the chair frame and try to lift. Back leg is firm, back heel is up. You're kind of looking in the direction of this knee, and you lift, and the trunk, the back is leaning a little bit so that you're aspiring to have the back thigh and the trunk in the same line. Lift.
Now this, I don't think I'm able to do this particular.
You can come back to this L shape here.
Okay.
And then we're going to come to chair pose in a minute, so it'll be very similar to this. Let's take we're still working with warrior 2. Your right hand will be here, because your left knee is pointed in this direction, right?
Yes.
And then your left hand will come out, and you'll look over those left fingertips. You're looking to have an energetic upward movement through the trunk. That's great, Cathy. So this is Warrior 2, a version of Warrior 2. A couple of breaths here. Shoulders releasing, sitting tall. And then bring the hand down to the legs and bring both legs back to face in this direction. We're going to work with chair pose, so I want you to come forward on the edge of your chair. Your feet will come back a little bit. Just for a moment, they'll be a little past the toes. But as you bring weight to your heels, that'll help change. Let's start with the hands on the knees and just come up and then back down. Now, it's tempting to want to look at me. Your gaze will change. So as I come up, I'll slightly look down. And then as I come back to seated, I'll look up. So it's a gentle lift of the tush off the chair and then coming back down. If you want to slide one hand out towards the wall in front of you, it would be sort of like this and back down. And then you can slide the other hand out and back down. So it becomes like a swing, but you're still relying on one hand on the knee. The gaze goes sort of from the floor up and then back down. You want your knees, your feet to all track in the same line. So you're just inviting the knees to not go in or out, but just to track. And the lower you go, the more challenging. So just coming to a hover is plenty. Just even lightening the tush strengthens the legs. But you also want to look for your back to be long. Let's go 2 more times, Cathy.
Does it look like I'm doing this correctly?
Yes, I think you're doing it correctly, Cathy.
Okay.
Now, just so you know, I see your head and your shoulders only to the red part of your sweater.
Okay. Should I move?
And your beautiful necklace, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Garnet. Should I move so you can see me better?
I'd love to be able to see you better.
Let me see.
Your camera seems to follow you, so maybe if you back up just a little bit, that would work. Will it follow you if you back up?
Back up.
And actually, we were going to do a little bit in standing, so this is the perfect time.
Okay, so why don't I do that? Does that help?
Yeah, because now I see from your waist up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I see more of you. That's great. I think if you were to sit down, there's probably a tip of the camera that needs to happen. But let's stand here for a moment, hand on the chair, and I want you to have a sense of pushing, not holding on, but pushing away. So you're standing tall. And then I'd like you to take your weight to one foot and bring the opposite knee up and slide it to the side. Bring one hand to your heart, and this is tree pose, so that you can just settle here with the soles of the feet together. How's that, Cathy?
That's fine. I've got my left foot, so I'm fine. I'm mirroring you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Because that's what I was
Okay.
trying to do. And it doesn't matter which foot. And then see if you can bring one hand up in front of the face and then slide the arm to the side so the fingers are pointed up and the palm is facing me. Yeah. Now if find what works for you. If you want to work with the other hand doing the same thing, but it can also stay on the chair. And there's a funny image of hands up that brings the upper arms a little more parallel to the floor, and the collarbone is wide, the upper back is wide. Yeah. So this is tree pose. You can think about it's a balance challenge. Notice the breath. You're standing tall through the trunk. How's that going, Cathy?
Guy, my left shoulder did a spasm on me, so I'm trying to get it to behave.
Well,
Okay.
at any point, if you need to bring the arms down and bring the hands to the heart, you're welcome to. The elbows, you can think about dropping the elbows, but the hands can stay at the heart. That's perfect. And then let's take the hands down and bring one hand back to the chair and the foot to the floor and stand in Tadasana. 2 feet on the floor, just standing tall. And you can think about the energy coming up through the legs, up through the trunk, rising up through the body, all the way to the third eye and to the top of the head. The elbow drops down the center line, the hand comes to the heart. We're headed to tree pose on the second side, Cathy. I don't know how you'd like to do it. Would you like to just shift the chair to the other side?
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Perfect. Great. And then stand tall, and then bring the weight to the other foot and the left knee or the opposite knee. So this knee swings out to the side. If you want to look down and see if your your heel is tucked into your ankle, you're welcome to. And then come back up to standing and bring a hand to the heart. And then a hand comes right in front of you. And as the arm opens to the side, the palm will be facing this way. Yeah. So that we're growing our branches. You can add the second arm, knowing that it can always return, and if shoulders decide to have their conversations, you're welcome to adapt and adjust to whatever you need. So this is tree pose. On the second side, you can think about your roots anchoring you to the ground, and your branches being whatever shape, gesture is appropriate for you. Look at you, Cathy. That's great.
I think it's a miracle that I'm keeping my balance.
You're doing great.
Well, thank you.
You are a miracle, Cathy. Now, is this a good level of challenge for you?
Yeah,
Perfect.
this is good.
And then that little sense of hands up, just to challenge the forearms and upper back to be broad and wide. You can stand tall and then bring the hands back to the heart. Take one hand to the chair and release the feet to the floor. And let that standing leg that we just asked a lot of to quiet down.
So what is this called, Garnet?
That's tree
Is this the
pose.
tree pose?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
Tree pose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now I want to have us face the chair, and we'll go with you're facing your left.
Should I move it this way so I see you?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so
I'm going to start talking. I'm going to do rights and lefts, and you're going to do the same, okay? Because
all
like
right.
facing forward, we're not mirroring each other, okay? So I want you to take your right foot slightly forward, step on the right foot and send the back foot back. The back heel is up. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
All right. This is warrior one. You can take one hand to the heart, and it's just like tree pose. It's the same arrangement of the arms. So I look like this with my arms. The back leg is strong. The front knee is slightly bent. If you want to take hands to the chair at any point, you can. And then coming up, bring the hands together and then come back. Come up and then back. Come up and then back. So it's a unfolding and folding of that front knee. The knee doesn't go past the foot, the toes. The front knee does not go past the toes. Now take your hands to the chair, and we're changing a little bit. The back knee should be your left knee. I want it to dip down and back up. This supports the standing glute. Down and back.
Like that?
I can't see your legs.
Okay, let me see. God, my left leg is so stiff.
Say it
Let me,
again.
huh?
Could you say it again?
My left leg is so stiff.
Oh,
I'm trying to even get it, the calf to bend.
so your left foot is forward.
My right foot is forward and my left foot is behind.
Perfect.
And it's so stiff, it's not wanting to bend. It's so stiff.
Well, even just thinking about it bending is going to be helpful to it, Cathy.
Okay.
So just the slightest bend, and then sending it long, and then the slightest bend, and sending it
All right.
long, just like that. And then let's take the weight forward onto the right leg and bring the left leg forward. I'm going to add a little more light, but see if that helps a little bit in terms of maybe you can see me a little better. You do not need to change your chair. I'm changing my chair so that I have an angle and I can see you. Let's take the right leg. Now take the left leg forward and the right leg back, correct?
The right leg back and the left leg forward.
Yeah. So the right heel is up. My right heel is up, the back heel is up. My toes are on the floor. My front knee is slightly bent. And you can warrior one is when you're facing forward and you've got your arms and cactus arms, but you can also certainly hold on to the chair or do one arm and then the other.
Well, it's very interesting, Garnet, that my left leg is now wanting to bend. So it has let loose.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really, I'm trying to think. And yet when I put it back, it doesn't want to
Well, it
let
might be
go.
that,
But if
you know,
I let it go in the front,
so
it
I
lets
have a
go.
theory, Kathy. I think you've got too much weight on the back leg and you need to take more weight onto the front leg. So if, let me take the camera to my legs, okay?
Okay.
When you're in a split stance like this, if all your weight is on the back leg, it's going to want to be stay really strong, which makes it
Okay.
hard to bend it. But if I take more weight onto my front leg, then this leg is much lighter. You can even lean a little bit with the trunk, and then maybe that back knee will bend more.
That's interesting.
Well, that does that help?
Yeah, that does help.
All right. That's well. That what a great exploration.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're changing legs. Warrior one on the second side. And your arms can be up, or you can hold onto the chair with one hand or two hands. And then we're going to start bending the back knee. But it means a lot of weight is on the front leg, so the back leg is more free to.
So you have your right leg on the back and your left leg on the front. So I should have my left leg on the back and my right on the front.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're going to just bend the back knee and back up. So both knees slightly bend, but you're emphasizing the back knee.
Yeah, still that left calf doesn't want to let go. So it's interesting.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's start changing, and we'll just explore as we go along. Okay.
Okay.
This is a version of a downward facing dog. You're going to walk back and just try to send the tail back. The arms are long and straight, and you're looking to just stretch the arms and make the aspire to make the arms and legs. I mean, the arms and the trunk in the same plane parallel to the floor. It should be a nice stretch for the back.
I'm trying to see how you're. Do I
Oh,
look
and
like?
I was coming to check on you. I'll put
Yes.
you for a moment.
Let
So
me know if you think I'm close.
your knees do not have to be straight.
Okay.
I'm looking for the tailbone to stretch back, the arms to be long and strong. The head doesn't overly drop, it stays in line with the upper back or with the arms, depending on if your arms and back and head can have that level of mobility. It's okay if you don't, but it's stretching the tailbone back. The
So
lower
does
back.
it look close, Garnet, about what you're describing?
Say it again, Kathy.
Can you see what I'm doing and does it look close?
Yes, it does. And how does
Okay.
it feel in the lower back? That's really the
It
question.
feels fine.
Oh, good. Does it feel like a
I
good
feel
stretch?
very stiff, which is my complaint for the day. I'm glad I'm getting it, but I just feel stiff.
And that's not surprising, right?
Right.
You've had a period of being inactive because you had a procedure.
I
You had a
know.
stem cell replacement.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. It's a crazy. It's crazy they can do that. It's crazy you did that,
I
and
know.
look at you. You're bouncing back.
Yeah.
That's great, Kathy.
Well, thank you, Garnet.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Look at you.
ah, ah,
All right. I'd like to get some bridges in. I think the best way to do that is to come to the chair and hold on to the chair frame. Let's both come back to a seated position, all right? Scooting back and tipping the camera slightly. Cathy, does your camera tip down any more than that?
my camera? I don't see a camera.
Oh, you don't. Well, wait.
Ca-
The
What do
camera's
you mean, Garnet?
the camera's built into the device. Does the device, the plane of the device, does it
Oh,
does it tip a little further down?
I guess this must be the camera. Um,
I think it's built into the frame of the picture. So whatever picture you're looking at, you want to tip it a little towards me.
how would I do that? How would I move that?
You would reach out with your hand, you would take the top of it and you would tip it down.
Tip
And
it
then,
down. Oh, it went away. Now
oh,
it came back.
okay, don't touch it.
Now
Don't
it's right
touch
next
it.
to you. It's right
Don't
next
touch
to
it.
you.
We'll take
Okay.
we'll take what we have. We'll be happy with what we have. It's made.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to turn sideways. I want you to walk forward on your chair. Your both feet are on the ground. I want you to swing your hands around and hold on to the sides of the chair, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then what I want you to do is I want you to slide one leg out and bring it back in. And then the other leg out and bring it back in. Now, what we're going to do is you're starting to unweight and weight the legs. And then I want you to take your feet to the floor and the upper arms are rotated outward. I just want you to slightly, not pick up the pelvis, but just slightly unweight the pelvis and then bring it back down.
You say unweight the pelvis.
Yeah,
You mean
what I
lift
mean
up?
is I don't want you to pick it all the way up because I'm wondering and wishing I was right there with you to check on your arms and shoulders because this is
Okay.
a lot of weight on the shoulders. I just want you to slightly pick up the pelvis and then put it back down. Yeah. How is that on the shoulders, Cathy?
It's okay.
Because, yeah, and it would be a slight lift of the pelvis. It's not a coming up of the head and shoulders. And then come all the way to the back of the chair. We're changing. I want you to press your upper back into the chair. Don't break it. And then take your
Okay.
hands, and then all I want you to do is just press the back into the chair. Okay? Now, if we were to do more than this, you might tip backwards. Don't do that. Just press into the back of the chair and it spreads the chest open. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
All right. We're pressing the chest open, the shoulder blades, and your elbows even can feel like they're going wide according to where you're holding onto the chair. Now we're going to change it. We're coming to a forward fold. I want you to tip the chin, roll, and you can hold onto the chair to help us roll forward. Bring your elbows to your knees and bow the head. This is like a child's pose. Stay with your head folded forward for a moment.
What do I do with my, okay, so with
Your
my,
elbows are on your knees to help support you. And then we're going to think about the tailbone or the bottom of the spine and let that drop towards the floor or towards the chair. Roll up, bring the head up last, and then come to upright seated. Now, I'm a little perplexed as to how to, and I'm coming closer so you can see me. In terms of a bridge. I'm still with you. I'm just trying, want you to see my trunk and my pelvis and my back. Um, if I hold onto the chair and my back is on the chair and I scoot my pelvis forward, if your upper back is nice and broad, what I want you to do is be able to lift, but only if your shoulders feel really steady and still. So pressing the upper back into the chair, I'm kind of wiggling so you see that I'm pressing my upper back into the chair. And then I've got my hands on the chair frame, hands on the chair frame, and my elbows and arms are supported, and then I'm lifting my pelvis slightly off the chair, which is calling upon gluteus maximus. We love our gluteus maximus.
Okay,
I wish I could see you a little better, but I can see
yeah,
you all
I'm
right. That's
thinking
okay. We're so
I can
happy that I can
do
see
it.
you at all, right?
Okay, you can see me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
mean, I can do
what's
this.
happening is your upper chest should be staying still. What's the back of your chair like? Imagine, let me get a prop so you can see what I'm talking about. If I had a small pillow and it wasn't resting on the chair, and I was to take my back and press my back into the chair and not let the pillow move, that's the connection I want my upper back to have with the chair, so that my hands can rest on the chair, my upper back and head stays still as I lift my pelvis. I'm going to come back to my head. You see that even my head and upper back are pressing the pillow into the chair, and as I lift my pelvis, my head and my shoulders and my upper back don't move. But I've lifted my pelvis. Thank you, gluteus maximus.
Okay.
How's that in terms of helping with
I
the description?
don't I I don't think I can do it.
Oh, okay.
At least not right now. I just don't think I've got the ability to lift my gluteus maximus up.
Well, what if you can, if you have the support for the upper back and the shoulders and the arms, then even lightening the weight on the pelvis is good. Are you
Okay.
able to do that? Now you're lifting your
Is it
chest.
like that?
What's the back of your chair like? Somehow I haven't described it well enough. I'm so apologize for not
It's
having.
it's not very big, so it doesn't have a lot of support.
So,
So I have to get another chair
well,
just
no, it's okay.
to
So
work.
the back of your chair is about here. It hits you at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can
So I can lift it like this,
come
but
back for a
that's
moment.
not right.
Can you keep your shoulder, your upper back touching the back of the chair? Can you take your hands to the chair frame and
Yes.
keep your upper back on the chair? Can you press with your feet? That's all I want.
Press with my feet. I can press with my feet.
Can you press with the feet a little more without tipping the chair over? And then
You know, Garnet, I think I should get another chair because I think this chair is not really workable. So it'll just take a second for me to bring in another chair.
the other thing you could do is put the chair against the wall.
There's no wall here for me to have that chair
Yeah.
press in. So let me just move this. And let me see if this works.
Oh, that does look like a good chair. That looks like the perfect back because it's got just the right.
Yeah, it's got a high back. So let me see if
You can rest.
so and I should try to
Keep the upper back resting onto that chair. Scoot the fanny forward as the upper back rests on the chair. Rely on your hands and arms. And it's pressing with the feet to slightly lift the pelvis. Nice, Kathy. That's what it is.
Is that what it is? It's
Yeah,
only
so
a
it's
slight
lifting.
movement. Did you hear me, Garner? It's only a slight movement that I did.
Yeah, it's just a slight movement. Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
Okay.
Now, if you can do, you could do 10 to 15 of those a day, but not 45.
Right. So 10 are these, what are these? Bridges?
They are bridges.
They are bridges. So 10 to 15. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So let's do two more. So the upper back is settling there. The upper back doesn't move, it's staying there. You take your hands to the chair frame and it's just a lift of the pelvis, slightly, ever so slight. It's a small movement. Stay for just a moment. Your gaze can be straight forward, it doesn't have to go toward the ceiling. And then the rest, and then, yeah, lift. And how is that on the arms and the
It's all
shoulders?
right. It's all
Okay,
right.
good.
Yeah.
You've got your
So it needs some work. I need to be able to feel more comfortable with the movement, but I was thinking the movement was like this, and it's a tiny movement,
It is, and
right?
it's just trying to engage back here to bring the pelvis up. That's great, Kathy. All right, are you ready for
Okay.
just a we're going to keep going though. I've got a few more minutes with you.
Okay.
Moving back so you can see what I'm doing. I'm towards the front of my chair. You don't have to be turned sideways, but I want you to lift the leg and kick it out and bring it back down. So it's like the can, but I want you to sit tall as you kick out and bring it back down. The shoulders are releasing. You can hold on to the back edge of the chair, kicking out and bring it back down. So this is like a yoga pose where you would have your leg extended out in front of you. And then we're going to change legs. The other knee lifts. Hold on to the back of the chair and kick out. Bend the knee and place the foot back down. Second one, lift, extend out, bend the knee, put it back down, shoulders releasing. Kick out, bend the knee and put it back down. We're going to then take either knee is fine. Draw the knee in and sit tall. Yep. Kathy, you tell me. I think the last time we did this was not available to you. To put the ankle on top of the opposite knee. Did it work?
I've got it on top.
Yeah.
It could be looser.
That's all right. Take your hands to the back of the chair and slightly lift your heart, so lengthening up, and then bow forward just to the place where you're comfortable. It's a nice stretch for the back of that thigh. You can flex and unflex the foot that's on top of the knee, just to play with that mobility. And then you can circle the foot. You can help it if you want to, and then circle the other way. And then come up. Release the leg back down. We're going to slide that same leg out and give it a little shake. Shake, 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 shake. And then draw the toes towards you and stretch through the heel. And then point the toe and then draw the toes towards you and stretch through the heel. See if you can pick it up slightly, hover it over the ground, and then release it back down and let the leg completely release. And then bend that knee and smoothly slide the leg back to rest the sole of the foot on the ground. And then the other knee is going to rise up. You're going to hold onto the shin and then sit tall. I'm coming a little closer. tipping the camera a little down. Yep. Oh, you can't see my head. Oh, well. And then I'm going to bring that shin on top of the other, like so. I'm going to start with taking my hands to the sides of the chair and lifting my heart so that you're lengthening up, and then fold forward to a little bit of a rounded fold. Come up to seated, and this is when we're going to flex and unflex this foot. And then circle the foot. I'm coming forward. You stay where you are, because I was trying to come back into the camera view a little better. So the foot circles, and then the other way. And you can help it. So we're looking for mobility of the ankle, foot, and then releasing that leg down. We're going to give it a shake, in and out, in and out. I keep trying to move the camera. I need a camera like yours that follows you around the room. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then you can tip the toes towards you and stretch through the heel, and then release the toes. And then tip the toes towards you and stretch through the heel. The leg is very straight, and release. One more tip of the toes towards you and stretch through that heel. Maybe lift the foot slightly. It's going to take a lot of effort, energy right here, and then the foot comes back down. Completely let the leg go. Resting, resting, neutral. And then slide the foot back to the floor. And then let's take the hands to the thighs. I'm coming back towards you, Cathy, my dear.
Okay.
We have just a couple of minutes. I wanted to see if there's anything else in terms of movement that would be beneficial for you.
No, I have liked what we've done today. I think it works, and let's see how my practice goes this week. And you went with the bridges. You said 10 to 15. So those are the ones that go like this.
Yeah.
So
and
those
then
are different.
I would do a few of the cat cows where you round the back and then arc the back the other way, because I think that's good for spinal movement. We also did a few of the twists that are good for spinal movement. Let's end with a lateral stretch. So I'd like you to take one hand to the chair and then the other hand to your hip. And then it's just, and the feet, knees go wide so you have support. The feet are wide. And then you just lean a little to your right. And then come back up to seated. Hold on to the chair frame. It's helpful to have support, and lean to the left, your left.
Okay.
And then let's take the hands to the thighs. We started here. Shoulders releasing, nice and broad and easy. Notice the breath. You can sigh or an om. And then let's take the hands down by the sides. Let them be super heavy and resting at your sides. And then let the hands come up. Follow your inhale here. Your exhale as they descend. The inhale as your hands rise. The exhale. Follow your out breath here. And this time the hands will come up. The palms will turn over. The giving and the receiving, and bring the hands together to the heart. And we'll close the practice. Namaste.
Namaste.
It is delightful to see you, Cathy. I'm going to end the recording.
You too.